Hi, I hope you're having a wonderful day today. Today's just going to be a chit-chatty video, some friends talking together. I'm going to share with you a lot of luxury mistakes that I have made in the past, and hopefully some of this can help you not make mistakes in the future. Luxury mistakes are very, very expensive. I have said my entire YouTube channel, career, whatever you want to call it, bags are not investments. They're starting to come out and say that they are. I saw it on the news the other day, which amused me greatly. But they did put in a disclaimer. It has to be a special color or a certain brand, and we all know which ones are going to go up and make money. But an investment to me makes a lot more than a couple of $1,000s. That's just my personal opinion. And I have sold a lot of bags in my time. It is not fun. I almost always lose money. It's not a good time. I don't like doing it. So if I can help you from making some of these costly mistakes, hopefully this will be helpful to you. If you're new to my channel, my name is Melinda. If you are returning, thank you so much for coming back. I would love it if you would just take one moment, hit that subscribe button down below, and let's get into this. I have 10 mistakes that I have made. I have not made all of these mistakes, but I have made a lot of them, and I will share them with you. I have a tiny bit of eye candy with me. But my notebook takes up a lot of space, and I wrote them. I won't remember 10 things. There's no way it's going to happen. Number 1, buying just to buy. Now this one I have been extremely guilty of in the past. I am doing much better at that. Now I may still buy just to buy, but I return it pretty quickly. I did a video earlier this year. I have only sold 2 handbags this year. For me, that is microscopic, and I have done a lot of returns. I'm learning what's working for me. We'll get into that later. But buying just to buy, you're bored, or the holiday collections are out and they have the most beautiful packaging or the most beautiful colored small leather goods, but you don't switch out of your small leather goods, but it's so pretty. It's like, I'm going to get it anyways, and you try to force yourself to switch. There's so many things. My example for this is from last year. It actually has dust all over it. I have never used it once. It is the Dior Menadere little case that they had, the limited edition. This year they have it in black. I thought, oh, I'll use this some evening out and use this as a card holder, little mini clutch, and then you put your lipstick here. First of all, almost every lipstick in this kit did not work with my skin tone, and I knew that purchasing it. I have one on today, and this may be the first time that I've worn it, and I've had this for a year. This was not a huge mistake because it was not that expensive, but this year I did not buy any holiday kits. I don't care how beautiful they were, what kind of a pouch they came with, unless the products inside were products that I actually use and actually need. But I mean, I certainly have done it with the small leather goods, and it is so easy to get sucked into this gorgeous packaging, and they know that. They do that on purpose. So number 2 is following new releases closely. I used to do this with Louis Vuitton and Chanel, and I knew what colors were coming out and what sizes and what style of bags. This has been a very, very long time since I have done this, and I feel like when you do that, it sets you up for wanting more and more and more. I did a couple of videos earlier in the year, and I am going to address them in a upcoming video about purse piece, because I have been purchasing handbags again. I still consider myself at purse piece because of number 2. I am not stocking the stores. I am not stocking online. I'm going to give you 2 examples for this. I did get an email the day before I was going into Louis Vuitton, and I did see this in the email. I didn't think a whole lot of it. I was in a store, it was up on a high shelf. I'm like, yeah, I'll try that on. Again, I hadn't been stocking it, but when I tried it on, I loved it. It worked for me. I thought it was cute. This has been one of my most used bags since the day I got it. I absolutely adore this. Had no idea it was coming out. They could have had 1, they could have had 100, they could have had, I wasn't on a list for anything. Another example is my other new bag. This one came out in March. I got the last one in the country either in November or December, probably late November. Had I seen this in March, would I have purchased it? No, I was in a very different place in March in my life, in my feelings about everything. So I'm glad I found it late, but I wouldn't have purchased it anyways if I had been stocking it. I just have found for me lately, if I go into a store and I just fall in love with something, it feels so much more special than I have been waiting for months for this to be released, like in the past, and hoping that I'm on the list and hoping that I get the call, because I didn't know it was there, so it doesn't make any difference if I get a call. If this hadn't been in the store that day, I wouldn't have even asked for it, wouldn't have thought about it, would not have ended up finding this one online afterwards, because I found this one when my video for this went up, some videos popped up for this one. I think that's how I found it. I don't know, but I just think it's a good idea to kind of back away from that so you're not constantly chasing. It is the chase, the chase, the chase, and I don't feel like I have that anymore. So we'll get into that in another video though. The next one is price increases, fear of missing out, FOMO. What hasn't gone up, right? What hasn't gone up? Who haven't you seen, myself included, with my YSL bag recently? That is not why I purchased it, but I did get in right before the price increase. But who haven't you seen saying, I've heard Louis Vuitton is going up, so I'm getting it now. And it may go up and it may not go up. Same with all of these brands. They're going to keep going up, up, up. That is what it is. If you can afford it and you want it now, I say get it now. If you can't and you have to save a little bit longer, just do it. These bags aren't going anywhere for the most part. For the most part, if you're looking at, fairly classic bags, you're going to be able to find them. And even if they're not in the stores anymore, you might be able to find them pre-loved and for a much better price as well. So it's just not worth stressing yourself out and trying to find the store that has it. And it's a cycle, and it's not a fun cycle. I don't think the whole price increase, fear of missing out it's not fun. It's not luxury to me. It's just not fun at all. Number 4, buying popular it bags that really don't work for you, that you've been influenced to purchase. And I have had a few of these. My examples on these would be all of my wallet on the chains. I have had 4 of them, 2 Chanel, 1 Dior, 1 Gucci, and my Chanel mini flap. I hated the Chanel mini flap when I first saw it. I'm like, it's ridiculous, it doesn't hold enough. If you follow me, you know I'm just not a fan of mini bags. I think it's a cute bag, it's physically attractive, but it doesn't work for me. Same with the wallet on the chains. I need my sunglasses to fit, but it's like, you're watching and you're like, well, that I have to have that. My Chanel collection is absolutely not complete unless I have this size, this size, this size. I need the reissue, I need the small, I need the medium, I need the jumbo, I need the mini. I've got to have a, what do you call it? Coco handle. I need all of them. They have to go together. I need a Fendi baguette. It's the 25th anniversary. I must get one right now because it's so popular. So sit back and don't be so swayed. Think about yourself and if it works for you and if it really is going to make you happy. And then number 5, not buying what you want because of other people's opinion. And it's something that you do love, and it might not be something that's popular. This bag, you either love it or you hate it, and I don't care. It means nothing to me. I did not design this bag. I have no strong ties to if you think it is hideous, because it's not my child. I didn't design it. I love it. If you don't buy it. But if you love it and somebody's with you and they're telling you how much they hate it and they just can't stand it, whatever it is, don't listen to them. If you know this is going to make you happy, get it. My example on that one is the Neverfull in the iCat print. Do y'all remember that? If I can possibly find a picture, I will insert it. There were 3 colors to my knowledge: a light pink, a hot pink, and a bright blue. I wanted the hot pink. My store actually had it in stock. I had the cash. I wanted it, I wanted it, I wanted it. Everybody I knew was like, that is hideous, it is awful. Do not get that. You're never going to carry that. It is the weirdest bag. I thought about it actually for years afterwards. I wanted it that bad. Would it have worked out for me? Probably not, because me and the Neverfull don't quite work out so well. But maybe just because of that color. I love the floral interior, but I was influenced the opposite way. So trust yourself. If you just absolutely love it, don't care if your best friend, your husband, or whoever thinks it's ugly. It doesn't make a difference. You didn't design it. It's not your child. So number 6 is not trusting your instincts, which kind of goes along with this. But just to get into that a little bit deeper, the size of the bag. As I've said, I don't really like mini bags, but yet I found myself trying one on this weekend and trying to convince myself that it would be fabulous going to sporting events, which I very rarely go to. I have one mini bag. It is my YSL mini Lou camera bag, and that's plenty. I don't need another one. So I'm like, listen to yourself. You do not need a mini bag. Perhaps you've been wanting a certain shade of brown, and you see a bag and it's the style that you wanted, but it's not as dark of a brown or as light of a brown. Trust your instincts and wait for what it is that you've been wanting. Or maybe it's a little bit too heavy, and like my twist one handle bag in the PM size. It was the smallest size at the time. I had tried that bag on and the color was greige, and I ended up purchasing it in a caramel color. I knew the bag was too heavy. I knew it. I bought it for 2 reasons. I liked the color. I convinced myself it wasn't going to be heavy, and the bag was about to go up $400 or $500 the next day. So for several of the reasons on this list, I purchased that bag. Thankfully, I did get to return it and I did not have to sell it. But trust your instincts. If you're like that, and part of that bag too, besides the weight, it wasn't the right brown. But I kept trying to tell myself it was. It wasn't for me. I still think it's a beautiful color, but it wasn't for me. Number 7, does it fill a need or serve a different purpose than bags that you already have? Now, there's nothing wrong if you absolutely love a particular style of bag and you want it in a lot of different colors and you carry it all the time. But if you're really sitting here thinking you want to have a smaller collection or you want to use your money very, very wisely, it's a good thing to think of. Do you need a crossbody bag? Do you not have one? Would that be something that would be really nice to have on vacation or whatever? Do you not have a nice evening bag? Do you not have a nice tote bag? And you're looking at another mini bag, but you've already got 6 or 7 mini bags. These are the same bag, but I feel like these serve very different purposes. I would never carry this in August or in July or even in June. This is strictly fall winter. This one I think definitely could go year round. I think it would look really cute with the sweater that I have on today. But I tried to ask myself that, you know, does it serve something different? Do I have duplicates of bags? Absolutely. But if you're like trying to have a more rounded collection. And then number 8, will you be afraid to use it? A delicate leather, a delicate color, you know, again, here's a good example. Are you going to be afraid to use it? Because if you are, it's just going to sit in your closet. And what is the point of that if you're not going to use it? If you're buying bags for the sake of them being art, like I look at the Lady Dior bag, then who cares if it's delicate or what color it is? If you're going to display it and just stare at it, then this video is absolutely not for you anyways. This is about people who want to carry and use their bags, and you just need to have that balance. And I get asked this all the time about color transfer. I'm going to share with you my secret. So I take a white cloth, and be it a top or a bottom, depending upon where the bag is going to be touching. I usually wear my bags crossbody over to the left side. We'll take that cloth, I will rub the pants, skirt, whatever it may be, and if the cloth comes up totally white, then I'm good to go. Same with the tops. So that's how I tell for color transfer. And if it comes up with denim on it, it's a no-go for that bag. So, you know, you need to be comfortable wearing it, but there's a little bit of a trick if you have a lighter colored bag that makes you a little bit nervous. Number 9, does it fit your real lifestyle or your dream lifestyle? And this is one that has always gotten to me. Like, I'll go back to the Lady Dior example. It was almost the color of this top. It was the most beautiful. I think it was called opalescent gray. Oh my gosh, that bag was art. I could have set that bag on my coffee table in the center and stared at it every day. It genuinely was that beautiful. I also had a small lady in black. They just don't work for my lifestyle whatsoever. I do not dress up that much. They didn't look good on me crossbody. So my answer to that, to have something that I think is pretty, and it's not obviously the same thing, it's not a dupe or anything for Lady Dior, but my Aspinall of London Mayfair bags. These were a fraction of the cost. All of them were under $500, and I get that beautiful top handle, little elegant look for the few times that I do dress that way. But yeah, it's so easy to be like, you know what, I will wear that. I'm going to wear that all the time on vacation. I'm going to wear that bag to the beach. But you go to the beach once a year and the bag is $5,000, $6,000. Whatever it may be, think about your lifestyle and if it's going to be useful for you. And number 10, and this one I think is one of the most important ones, will spending this money affect you at all in any negative way? Will there be any negative impact on your life from spending this kind of money? Is your spouse or your partner going to be upset with you? Are you going to go in debt for a bag and be making payments on it and then have guilt that you make payments? I am not judging you. You do whatever you want with your credit cards. I don't pay your bills. But personally, for me, not once ever have I gone into debt or made payments on anything luxury. I just don't think it's worth it. It would make me feel terrible if I was still paying for this bag and if I was paying interest on this bag, so I'm paying more than it was in the store. That for me would bring guilt and it would make me not enjoy the bag, and it's just not for me a very good feeling. And like I said about the price increases, just keep saving up. Even if it's something limited edition, you will be able to find it again later and possibly at a lower price. But is it going to impact you in any negative way? And maybe you have the cash and maybe you put the cash towards the bag, but you have a repair in your home that you really needed to do first, and now you don't have the cash for that repair and you have to put that repair off. It can be so many things, but are you going to feel comfortable spending that amount of money? And at the end of the day, above all, there is absolutely no perfect bag whatsoever. There's not. I can tell you a flaw with every single handbag that I own. Buy what you love and buy what is going to bring you joy and happiness. And it was interesting because we were in Vegas last week and I was offered some beautiful watches and I turned them down, and my husband's like, I can tell from your face that you're just not absolutely in love with these. I can tell that you like them, but you're not in love. And my sales associate said, don't buy it if you're not in love with it. It's too much money. And I didn't. And that's kind of how I've been shopping lately, is I don't stalk the websites. I don't look at the new releases if I'm in the mood to shop, which isn't altogether that often. And especially this year, I went in the most stores I have gone in an entire year this past weekend. If I see something and it just hits me, then I will think about it. I will try to think about these things, and if I decide if I want to add it to my collection or not. And I have been doing a lot of online shopping. If you watch that video, I sometimes find it a lot easier to get something at home so I can look at it with my wardrobe, try it on in the comfort of my own home where there's not so much distraction, and I can really think about it. And then I'm like, nope, you've got to go back. You're not going to work out for me. But I hope this was helpful, and if you have some tips for me, I would love to hear them down below, because we are all just a work in progress. But if we can save ourselves some headache of having to sell or not being happy with something or having regrets, that's always a good thing. I hope you have an amazing day today. Take care. Bye-bye.